know why I'm doing this. I guess I like kind of decided subconsciously that I'm enjoying life too much right now, that I'm too happy and content that I need to ruin it before somebody else does. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Hi, hello, how are you? How has your week been? So today we are going to be doing something that I have been wanting to do for a while but just haven't gotten around to it. Today I've decided to ruin my own mood and hurt my own feelings. So today I'm going to be reading 1-star reviews of my favorite books. First, let's start off with The Hunger Games. I feel like this one has to be tame. I feel like most people like The Hunger Games. This is a long review. I feel like this person didn't understand the point of Hunger Games. The whole purpose of this book should be that there shouldn't even be, in the first place, a need to sacrifice members of our society for some other people to be amused. And where after the battle of united people, we heal and repair the damages for the better tomorrow. Well, first off, even from the first book of the trilogy, it is very clear that, yes, the Capitol does make a big deal out of it being like amusing for their citizens, whatever, but like the whole driving force behind the Hunger Games is to remind the districts that they have no power. And also the point of the book, The Hunger Games, is that like it's a problem. I think that this person just like doesn't understand what the whole point of a dystopian fiction is. I want like funny ones. I am now stupider from reading this. Well, I'm not sure about that. Well, I mean, maybe it's true because I'm not sure that's a full sentence.
Who am I to talk? I never did well in English class.
Okay, a lot of these reviews are just like people who clearly didn't finish the series. Because, buddy, if you would just finish the series, you would figure out the answers to your questions. But this one, I find the premise of children killing children to be horrendous. The fact that this book was so popular among children is equally horrendous. I fear you are missing the point. Okay then. When I turned the last page in this book, I almost threw it across the room. Until then, I would have given The Hunger Games a 4-star rating. But then, end of book 1, there was nothing on the book jacket to hit me to the series issue. But I have issues with series, clearly. This person didn't like it because they didn't know it was part of a series. I fear you might have other issues. This book was a huge disappointment to me. Never expected it to be that bad. Okay, I might have to move on because literally all of these 1-star reviews are like, there's no explanation as to why the children are killing each other. And I'm like, oh geez, Louise. By the way, Collins must have been hungry when she wrote this book. Pita means pita in French. Remember, pita is a baker. Gale means meat, a type of meat in Iraq. What a coincidence. The characters have the depth of a white crayon. This is like that meme on TikTok. I don't know if I'd call it a meme, but like when people post videos that are like, you want complex characters, but then you hated this character. And I'm like, I feel like that comment is like an example of that. It's like if you don't think that the characters have depth, I don't know what to tell you. Let's move on to a different book because these ones aren't that funny. Waterfall, the first book in the River of Time series by Lisa T. Berggren. I have a feeling we're gonna get some good ones on this one. I hope it's just not a novel. DNF. This has to go down as one of the silliest, if not the silliest, story ever written in the history of YA fiction. I mean, I don't know. To paraphrase Abraham Lincoln, for people who like this kind of thing, it's the kind of thing they would like. I mean, like, that is kind of the point of, like, reading, isn't it? That, like, you like the books that you like, and, like, not everybody is going to like the same kinds of books. And so to kind of, like, try to insult the book by saying, like, people who like this kind of thing, yeah, it's what they like. Well, duh. I don't understand. Gabby is a vapid, boy-crazy 17-year-old girl who makes me want to fall on my knees and thank God for making me abnormal. I think there's more to unpack there that I don't have the time or the patience for. The main character, Gabby, annoyed me. I was waiting for her to poop rainbows and burp sunshine. Every obstacle she came across, she somehow always had the perfect 1300s solution. Getting attacked? Hey, that's great. Her dad taught her to fence before he died. So obviously that translates to broadsword prowess. Someone's sick? Well, her mom did like herbal remedies, so let's bring back people from the brink of death. That is true, okay? I would say that this is a bit of a valid point. But at the same time, it is a fantasy book. If you want something realistic, I fear you are in the wrong genre. I am now less intelligent for having read a word of this book. The plot sounded interesting, but the writing was laughably horrible. Laughably horrendous. I snickered my way through a few chapters, but it soon became apparent that gouging my eyes out would be time better spent. Well, I guess if you think your time would be better spent that way, you might as well just go ahead and do it. Probably would have taken you less time than it did to write that review. You know, I was kind of joking when I said that these are gonna put me in a bad mood, but like actually reading these, like they're actually kind of making me upset. Oh gosh. The selection. This is gonna hurt. Heavens above, why are you smiting me? I needed a comfort read. I needed a quick read. I had a terrible, no good, very bad, and or horrible day, as they say, and I needed an antidote of the literary variety. So I picked up this book, which I've been meaning to reread because I remembered it as being fast and fun and cutesy. I'm trying out a new thing where I'm like the Dr. Seuss of negative reviews. Except, did you guys know that he cheated on his wife, who had cancer, and she passed away when she found out? I was not expecting to learn deeply disappointing facts about one of the most notorious poets to ever live. What am I supposed to do with this information now? I know, I probably shouldn't have read this. Well, then why did you? Girl, understand that not every book needs to be read by every person. I read this book for one reason, to find out why it's a New York Times best-selling series. After drinking several beers and banging my head against the wall, I can kind of see why. I know it might seem like I detested the selection based on my status updates, but to be perfectly honest, I haven't had this much fun reading a terrible book since Midnight Sun. You're comparing this to Twilight? I just finished reading Twilight, literally like a week ago. I did not read my Midnight Sun, okay? I knew that getting through the rest of the series was gonna be hard enough. And I was like, I cannot reread a book in a different character's point of view. So I didn't read Midnight Sun. But, these are hurting my feelings. A moment of silence for the book I just buried in my garden. Well, are you hoping it's gonna grow into a tree? All I wanna say is this. The bar was already on the ground and then they brought a shovel. I think the shovel was to help you bury your prejudices against the book. Clearly it didn't work. This book was pretty trashy. Sometimes trash can be great, but sometimes trash is just trash. Well, you know what they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So clearly this was just your trash. But other people, like me, love it. Oh no. This one's gonna hurt my feelings. Extra. A Court of Mist and Fury. Just what I expected. DNF. Seriously, anyone who manages to finish this book deserves an award. Thank you, I do deserve an award for finishing it. And not crying my eyes out. A fitting end would have been this book in a grave burning in hell. But you DNF'd at 14%. The best parts were yet to come. The best parts were yet to come. Well, this is doing his job. It's really making me upset and frustrating me. I have sat here for several minutes now, staring at my blinking cursor, head propped up by a single hand, trying to work out who is the one most to blame for this abomination. Is it Bloomsbury, who agreed to pay for and distribute this garbage? Is it the editor who never thought to hit the Control-Alt-Delete keys? Is it the fandom who willingly part with their own hard-earned cash to feed the machine? Of course not. It's Mass herself. Mass, who I firmly believe after reading this novel is an alien with the barest knowledge of how human relationships work. I'm gonna stop you right there and tell you that this book is not dealing with humans. It is, in fact, about fairies who are not real. Did you know that? Did you know that when it's a fantasy book, it means that it's not real? That the events in the book, for one reason or another, are not actually possible? Whether that is because the characters are using magic that doesn't exist, or the characters are of a species that does not in fact exist, like fairies with wings and magic that live in a fictional land that does not exist. So guess what? The relationships between those characters don't exactly have to follow the rules of normal human relationships. If you are a friend of Book Talk, you would know that so many people have acknowledged that the things that people get away with in fantasy books would definitely not be okay in our world. Like, yes, I love Feyre and Rhysand, but I would not want Rhysand in real life. I love Violet and Xaden from Fourth Wing. I do not want my own Xaden Ryerson, okay? I have admitted that it's probably not healthy for me to say that Xaden Ryerson is one of my favorite book boyfriends. And it probably means that something has been knocked loose in my brain. It's a fantasy book. It's not real. It's not real. So if you are reading a fantasy book and wanting things to be realistic, let me remind you, it is not real. I will put a definition for the word fantasy right here for you to peruse at your leisure. I don't know if you can tell, I'm getting a little heated and I think I need to calm down. I didn't mean it when I said I wanted to ruin my good mood, okay? That was a joke, but it actually started to be true. That is all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so that I know that you guys enjoy this type of content. I want you to leave a comment down below and give me like just a paraphrase of the most outrageous review you have ever seen on a book. Make me laugh, okay? And subscribe to my channel for more bookish content in the future. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week and I will see you guys next time. Bye.